Hey YouTube, back!
YouTube.
Scott, we're back. We're now doing strats.
Yes.
So this is the ones that I wasn't at. Particularly this one, when I was going to appear, I hand is the shite one in the original video, and I thought because you couldn't see him laughing,
Yeah.
it just sounded like I was being atrocious. So start with the one.
Well, these are my two sort of main strats, I suppose. Yeah. This is a 2010.
And this one says on the back 1969.
1969.
Doesn't say on the back, but I just know what it is.
Back, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is a 2010. This is another side model. This was a thin skin nitrocellulose body on this one.
Right.
So you can see it kind of start to settle into the kind of wood.
Yes,
See the joints.
I held it up to the light last time I saw it.
Yeah.
Yes.
But
And it
yeah.
did. Alright, so this is basically the same, similar as the telly.
Do you know, it's the same idea as a telly. It's that higher up the range model, and it's got the same kind of weird tuners, and it's got the same thing as well. The same.
Yep, the same notched and.
And again, when this is that way, this takes the tone circuit out for that one, so it makes it like a normal strat.
Right. Alright, so
yeah, when you switch it.
So what does that tone? Does that tone do both these pickups in?
Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah, it's actually, do you know, if you've got a strat, it's the easiest mod to do. Somebody like you can do it for people as well, and do it.
Well, just basically
yeah.
just jumper cable and the two
It's
together.
it's a jumper cable. It's a fairly quick one to do, but it really.
Just one more.
See what I mean? To be able to just roll that off, it makes it almost sound like a humbucker. More butt, less face.
Yeah.
So yeah, it does that, and it's really nice.
I suppose it means it gives you the no load on the middle pickup as well. Then
Yeah.
technically,
On the middle pickup as well. And
I did see it make sense to me somewhere. I worked out why they made the two. And to be honest, the reason I think why do you think a Strat's got three knobs? Because it's got three pickups and it looks right.
Pickups and it looks right, yeah. But
More than anything else.
I would say that's the top upgrade that you can do for a Strat, is to add on the tone control to the bridge pickup.
Yeah, it's quite easy to
essential,
do.
yeah, because it really is, it can be too much in your face.
I don't know, would my top upgrade might be the Gilmore switch so you can get the outside two colours on. I really like that.
See, that's what's probably going to happen to this guitar, which is probably, you know what I mean, a lot of people are purists about guitars.
Yeah, but you can keep the
We'll
pop.
talk about the
No,
next
do you want to keep the soldering original?
Well, yeah, I don't know. I want to put
What I do is you add in another one, a coil adder.
see what I
That
want
gives
to
you 25 sounds.
What I want to do is put a humbucker in the bridge. Is what I want to do with this guitar.
Right.
Because all of my guitars have got humbuckers in the bridge. I think all of my part of my Telecaster stuff.
Yeah.
But everything that I play generally has got a humbucker. I like.
I need to give you the shot of a. You should get me to mod one. Do the humbucker thing when I run these two in series.
Yeah.
See what you think of that. 'Cause it's obviously all reversible. I wouldn't be changing anything.
Look how dirty this guitar is.
Right.
Yeah, this is a really expensive Strat. It's filthy.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And that, the duct costs more.
Yeah. So this is
Other people have got clean ones.
one to look out for.
Yeah.
Is the thin skin one, and again, it's a more resonant.
It's a nice Strat.
Well, yeah. It's just
My hatred for black guitars has gone down a bit over the last couple of years.
Well, yeah. This was my 50th birthday Strat.
Right. And I don't tell me how much you paid for it. I know you got it pure ridiculous.
I got a really good price.
And I was up
yeah.
here. I would have bought it, and I
Yeah.
don't. But me buying a black
Yeah.
Strat, no. But I mean,
I got it for the price of a normal Fender black Strat.
No.
And it's not a normal Fender black Strat. It's slightly better than.
It does kind of look. Well,
It's a nice guitar, isn't it?
it is. Yeah.
And it's got a really lovely feel.
I can see.
neck.
It's these things that's like the more expensive. Once you start going up the range, it doesn't get huge jumps better like it does between a £100 guitar and a £200 guitar, but it is better, and it's like everything. It's not like, oh, this is get better, a nicer neck or nicer tuners or nice. It's everything is just
Slightly better.
Just-
the thing about the American guitars is the finishing them. That's what it is. That's the big difference. It's
Yeah.
the amount of time they spend finishing the neck.
yeah.
The
Time is money,
edges and the fretwork itself and stuff like
Yeah.
that's generally
and probably done by human as
used
well.
to be better. I don't know if it is now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Guitars have become a bit more production line all of a sudden.
I don't know. That sort of thing when it was showing you how they were hand finishing Fender necks. I don't know where it was, and it was like a guy with a box of necks and a big massive belt sander, and he was going
Well, that. Yeah, when we get
next,
to, when we
and
get to
that was
one,
hand finishing,
yeah.
and it's like that's not. That's not how this sort of thing was made. It was a guy with his hands.
Yeah.
You know, sandpaper. None of this. Not picking a neck out of a box, going next.
Yeah, but you can tell a difference between them. See, I bet we don't have one of the cheaper strats that are actually sound as good.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to take anything away from the sound of them. It's the feel in your hand.
Yeah.
This one feels really nice. Very luxurious guitar.
And if you're going to play the guitar, if you're going to have one guitar and you're going to play it every day and
Yeah.
you're going to do gigs and stuff, then
See, it's an investment
can't
as well.
knock it. I just don't have the money.
As long as you look after it. I mean,
Yeah.
my kids are going to inherit my guitar collection.
Yeah.
And some of them are worth quite a lot of money, do you know what I mean? And the money keeps going up. So
Oh,
it's better
they're not.
than- I mean, that guitar, for instance, is a better investment than any Bitcoin, cryptocurrency, or anything, really. As is this, more stable, because it's always going to be a rare strat.
Yeah, and it's not like they don't go out of date.
No,
That's,
no.
It's like basically okay. It's been modern. It's between the days of this one
Yeah.
and that one. It's what 40, 50, whatever it is, 50 years or something like that, and it's like.
That one is a 69.
It's been modified, but I mean, if this was this is the original state, and then it goes to that, it's like it's the same thing.
Yeah.
You know, it's like
See,
a
this
guitar.
guitar-
An electric guitar is still an electric guitar. It's
That
not.
guitar, when it came out of the factory, came out looking like this.
Yeah,
Basically.
pretty much, and even.
Apart from the headstock, that's got the late 69.
Right, yeah, but I mean, these are small things. I just mean, you know, if you imagine looking at like a car from 1969 or from 2010, it's like you're right, quite a big difference there. Or a TV, or a radio, or music. You know, all these things have all changed, and a guitar's still basically just the same.
I mean, the odd thing about this is a 2010 guitar, and that's a 1969 guitar, but that's got more modern appointments.
Yeah, very
on
much.
it.
I was going to say that. It's like this has got like a Floyd Rose and humbuckers
Humbuckers
and
and
locking
spares.
tuners. So this is a more advanced version of that, even though that's 50 years newer.
Yeah, lots of gubbins inside that one.
60,
That's
70,
been
40 years,
mad
50 years.
malkoed, this guitar.
Yeah, you
A
got some
69
idiots.
Strat.
This is a 1969 Strat. This is the one where I was saying I had me over the shite one. So this is,
Yeah.
you've told me before, it was serial number somewhere between Hendrix's and Dave Gilmore's or something, isn't it?
It's right in the middle, yeah.
Yeah, it's lovely. When I actually had this at my house, it was in need of a refret.
Well, the frets were flat.
Yes,
basically.
so I
There's no
could
frets after there.
sort of play some notes. I was kind of, I could play a wee bit kind of up here, and it was like if it was,
But the neck was a mess.
yeah,
It was, do you know what I mean? It's maple necks do go messy as they get older, they get kind of dirty and stuff.
yeah,
Now there's a habit just now, I don't understand it, people who relic their guitars, right? There's these guys who relic their guitars, you're not going to believe it. They buy a brand new guitar and they try and make it look old. It's like buying a brand new car and driving around a car park and getting it crashed for extra money. Right, anyway,
yeah,
I spent quite a lot of money getting it refretted,
yeah,
and I got massive gigantic frets, but I also got the fretboard reprofiled and cleaned.
right,
So I took the years off it, whereas you get these absolute nut bars, honestly, they put sandpaper on the fretboards to make it look old.
right. And you're
Oh.
talking when I've got a couple of guitars where sometimes it kind of breaks through,
Yeah,
and then initially it breaks through because you've taken off the surface,
yeah.
and then the wood starts to go
Yeah.
black with your fingers,
Well, do you
and
know
then
the
it
other
starts to
thing
flake
about that
round about
is-
the edges.
The thing about it is that people don't realise when they're scraping off the finish from their fretboards is when they get through to the maple. Maple's a rock hard maple, but it's still porous, it's still got that reciprocating action where it will pull in fluid.
Yep.
So if you've got finger fat and stuff like that going into it, what that eventually does is go acidic.
Yep.
And it causes pitting on your fretboards.
Yep.
And your fretboard it actually collapses. So when they try to make their guitar look 50 years old, they're literally taking 50 years off the line.
Yeah.
It's bizarre. But that one I've turned the cloth back on the neck, so it looks
Yeah.
fresh.
Yes. You start this wee bit round about the edges. I mean,
Yeah.
I was talking about my Schecter
It's
P
just
bass in one of the
front-
previous
it's just the
videos.
front that's been finished, the back's still original.
Yeah, no, but my Schecter P bass is that
Yeah.
the fretboard is absolutely it's off all over the place. I had a great time. See, one time we were in the studio and I thought I want to buy a violin bow.
Yeah.
So one night I was like up here giving it, and I basically just
Took the fretboard off,
I just sandpapered all the way down there, and it's just absolutely. The reason I don't play that bass is sitting there in a case with lots of silica gel do not eat packets in it. Just because one day I'm going to take it down and refinish it, because it used to be pure bird's eye maple and all that. Now it's just a mess. So this one,
It's got a what do you call it? Floyd Rose on it.
it's got a
It's got a go-to. It's actually this is from see when Ibanez first put the Edge on, it was back in 1986, right?
Yes, because I've got my Ibanez RG 530
So
has that.
This is from around about that time, so they reckon it's just possibly pre or just round about the same time as the first one. So it's a really old Edge system. It's not an Ibanez, it's the Goto.
Well, I think the Goto one was probably the Ibanez one was probably made by Goto anyway.
This one's stamped Goto inside it.
Right. I don't know if I've never had it off. I think the Ibanez one's badged, but basically the design.
It's got a stainless steel block.
Right.
You can't see it.
Right. I've never actually taken the Ibanez to bits.
It's a really old Edge system, and it's actually brilliant. See, when I first got this guitar, I was like every other purist in the world who looks at this guitar and slightly horrified at the fact that it's been routed.
Yeah.
For a Floyd, so it's got that nice big hole in it.
Yeah.
But see, as a player's guitar, just if you take all of that age and stuff away, the way the guitar plays is actually really nice.
Yes.
You can verify that, and it's got a lovely action, and it sounds amazing.
Yeah.
I can't find a bridge that fit a bar. We've tried loads, haven't we?
I was talking about this just before we turned the video on. I did actually. I got my pal Steve just up the road. Gave me a couple of guitars that had Bandmaster tremolos in them, and they've got a similar looking thing. So I'm going to bring them over and try them at some point. Might work.
Yeah. So what's original on this guitar at the moment is the neck and the body and some of the screws. The pots were, but you took them out. They're all pushed.
Yeah. No, I'm going to ask. The next thing is like got some idiots. So we've got a push pull, a push pull, and two switches.
Yeah.
What do they do?
All humbuckers.
Are these Seymour Duncan?
Well, yes. Seymour Duncan used to work in England and London, and they used to make pickups and stuff like that. So these are pre-Seymour Duncans.
Yeah.
And it's like a really early version of the really high output U.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they're really nice pickups.
Are these coil splits for each one? That one doesn't work because I remember.
Well, they are, but I think one of them does something else. Does it not? I can't remember.
I have no idea. It's like I can't remember what guitar I did 2 weeks ago.
To 69 Strat?
It was already like that. It's fine.
Yeah. So
You don't need to push the pulls.
What else is original? The Strat button's original.
Oh, quite funky one.
Well, do you know that's one of the ways that I found out that the age of the guitars, I find out how they age them is the positioning and the type.
Right, I've not seen one that looks like.
So see if you look at different Strats through the years, the position gets moved slightly, and they use different kind of buttons and different designs, and that's one of the things that they say, oh right, it's got the right blah 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 on it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so
but really, the neck isn't fantastic, mate.
It's actually it's been resprayed from there. See that bit there?
Mm-hmm.
That's been resprayed when that got routed out just to blend in.
Right.
So you can actually, if you look at it under a UV light, you can see where the original paint is here.
Mm-hmm. And
if you flip over the guitar and look at the paint on the other side, you can it's doing all that crackly thing. That as well. Just take that out just now, man. Yeah, see if you look at the paint, you can see it's doing all that.
Yeah, I can see the nitro cracking, and it's like when it's been painted.
Yeah, but you can see it looks like a circuit board or something. It's amazing.
That's what they do is you get some guy to sit with a wee razor blade,
and
he just sits and does that
for
hours and hours and hours, and then they add £2,000 to the price of the guitar.
So the paint's all original. So the paint work is actually amazing.
Mm-hmm.
It really is. It's brilliant.
Mm-hmm.
You've got some finishing crackling on there as well. It's a lovely looking guitar.
Mm-hmm.
But the scratch plate I made myself. The original scratch plate's over there somewhere, but they wrecked it by cutting holes in it and cutting other holes in it. And it actually had at some point it had one of these pickups in here. What do you call it?
The Roland ones.
Roland one. It had a Roland guitar synth pickup in it, but they actually stuck using sticky pads. See if you hold the guitar up to the light, you'll see a V shape there.
Yes.
Right, see that the pad that they used to stick onto the guitar actually sucked the pigment out of the paint, so it left a white patch, and it looked like perfect paint but white.
Right.
No colour in it, yeah.
Wow. Right.
So basically, what's on that just now is what they call a patch.
Yeah.
It's a paint that can be cut off using a cutter.
Right.
To restore back to the natural paint again. I don't know how you're going to get black pigment into paint. But I suppose it doesn't really matter because I suppose it's a hot rod Strat, isn't it? Is that what they call a hot rod Strat?
I think it's a turbo hot rod.
Well, see if you go.
I think you hot rod a Strat by putting a humbucker in it.
If you go to the custom shop and ask them for a Strat like that, they're charging you $5 or $6 for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
I wonder when do you think it
certified?
I wonder when this was done, because see
mid-80s.
Yeah, but see the whole bending back thing.
Yeah. Well, that was Stevie Vai basically, so it's
Yeah, 87.
Yeah, 80,
So, well, maybe a wee bit before that.
yeah.
Because the one I've got, the Ibanez, it's got a bridge very similar to this.
Yeah.
Doesn't, it's flat. And I've got a Washburn G15, and in the poster for it, it says Washburn's fantastic new technology. They've dug it a bit in the back so you can upbend. So they were claiming that was their invention in 1987. So maybe 1987.
A lot of people say that I should get it restored and get the wood block and stuff put in and get. Nah, I like it the way it plays really well. I mean, it really does. That we've got a wee wiring issue just now.
Yeah.
That's
look at that.
A loose wire.
Yeah, but think about it. See, if you did restore it, you would never be able to play it with 3 humbuckers and a Floyd Rose in it again.
I mean,
because you would never put it back to this. So, but you can always restore it.
That actually screams as a guitar. It really does. It's a screamer. It plays really well. So I don't see the point in restoring it.
No.
And anyway,
but it's not getting any worse over time. So basically, it's staying the way it is. You can restore it in 50 or 20 years time or whatever.
It's quite a funny. You're not even really supposed to take it out of the house. It's one of the things about owning an old guitar, by the way, is insuring an old guitar is a nightmare.
Because
you can't just phone them up and say I've got a 69 Strat.
Of course.
You've got to send the guitar to an authorised Fender.
I suppose it does have a serial number on it, but I mean.
Well, there's a lot of that's not the original plate.
Isn't it?
Plate. Well, see, one of the tips. See if you buy a vintage guitar, one of the things to do is to take as many of the bits off of it as you can if you want to play that guitar.
Right.
Because if somebody steals it, they're not going to get the full guitar. You're going to hold the original bits that could be matched to that guitar and prove it's yours.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
So I've got the original machine heads.
Yeah. I take it you found machine heads that didn't involve.
No, actually, it came with these on, but it came with the original machine heads as well. Thankfully.
Oh dear. Yeah.
So I've got the original machine heads and I've got these really nice Sperzels, which are great.
Yeah. Oh, there's your staggered ones as well. But they're like the Schecter ones.
Straight to an upload, straight to nothing. A nightmare. But yeah, it's a total hot rod guitar. And purists hate it. Well, the thing is, it's really funny because I've had it a few times and people turn their nose up at Strats, you know what I mean? And they think, look at it, they go, well, it's like a parts caster. And then they hear it and they start to ask questions. What is it? And
I do think you should.
69 Strat.
I think don't restore it, but I would get a new scratch plate. I think.
Again, it's difficult to get. It's because back in when they were making them then, it wasn't as precise a thing as it is now, where it's machines that do it with humans. So
and the other thing is as well, it's like if I was putting like a Strats plate in a Squire, it's like the holes don't quite line up. I'll just drill holes.
Well, see, I've got about 3 or 4 different scratch plates for American Fender Strats, and every single one of them is just slightly off.
Yeah, and you can't undrill the holes in the plastic, and you don't want to be drilling holes in the body if you can avoid it.
Yeah, there's a company somewhere we've spoken about before that actually makes scratch plates custom, so I think I'm going to send it to them and get an anodised one. Yeah.
Silver anodised? Gold anodised?
I've not made my mind up yet as to what colour. That's probably silver because...
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see. I might even just stick with the torque, but I mean to get it professionally made and mounted, because look at the arse of it I made at the Floyd Rose. Yeah, and then as you say, you're not happy with the volume control is. I've never liked volume controls and Strats. That's
why. I mean, it really is. It's actually, it's a wee bit stiff. I think it's actually touching.
It's touching it, yeah.
So because the knob isn't perfectly round, it's actually scraping off the bridge. But I mean, that's not Fender's fault. That's somebody who put.
That's just a thing of the bridge, yeah.
Yeah.
But.
Yeah, it wasn't a cheap mod to do at the time. I bet it was a couple £100.
Well, it was a studio guitar. Right. So rather than buying, I mean, they had an excellent guitar, and everybody wanted these bridges. So
yeah, because it was 1987, I need to do bag bombs or whatever. Yeah.
So they used a studio guitar, and back then, and a 69 Strat was.
It's not pre-CBS. Rubbish.
It's that in between grey area.
Yeah. we were watching an auction thing on telly, or actually it wasn't telly. It was on your telly. It was on. And I was looking at something. There was a 79 Strat.
79 Strat.
And it was go for 4. What was it? It was something stupid.
It's about $4 grand.
$4.5 grand for a 79 Strat. I was under the impression that a 79 Strat was the bad era. That was why.
Well, I still thought they were worth more than that as well. Guitar prices have gone weird. At this end they've gone up, and at that end they've gone down, which is weird. Yeah, your kind of 69s and your old guitars are the top end. That's kind of crashed.
They kind of died a little bit.
Yeah, but I had to send that guitar away and have it verified.
Is that just because they're too expensive and people don't want it? It's like, I'm not spending...
Well, it's like insuring a car, basically. It's the same kind of money every year to insure that, to take out and gig it, because how do you replace a 69 Strat? You don't.
No.
So they're hard to insure. So they become expensive to take out the house.
Mm-hmm.
And insurance companies like that, I just buy a Mexican Strat. It was so stupid.
Buy a safe and a Mexican Strat.
Aye, so yeah.
And anyone in the audience isn't going to be able to tell the difference by hearing it, really.
Yeah, so I got it sent away and it came back, and I was having trouble with the serial numbers and stuff like that, and it came back because black wasn't a standard colour.
Right.
It was a custom colour, so it went on to a different line which used different serial numbers, which threw me completely. Actually, to my benefit, it threw everyone, because when I was buying that guitar, they were like, no, that's not a 69, it's a blah blah blah, and it's a lie, and everybody was wrong and I was right, and I got a bargain.
Yeah, and you didn't pay 12 grand for it or whatever it was.
No. I paid good money for it.
Yeah.
Like good Strat money for it, but I didn't pay that top end price for it, and I wouldn't pay that top price then for a guitar. But the nice thing is I get to play a 69 Strat, and my kids get to inherit a 69 Strat.
And you can invite me round, I can play a 69 Strat.
Anybody can play it, but the thing is, I take it out occasionally. But this, and I've got other Strats.
Yes.
And there's another two up here, but they don't.
We were discussing whether they count as Strats.
They don't really. They do, they don't. I don't know. They're Squire Strats. I'm not going to turn my nose up at Squire Strats because some of them are great, right? Well,
no, I'm not saying they're not good guitars. I'm just at the point.
They play great. I've got that one set up. It's got what's it got in it? It's got a P90 in it, and it's got a really good pot, and it's got a tone bleed in it, and it's treble bleed, and it's been not refretted, but the frets have been properly dressed, and all the rest of it. So it plays really well.
Yeah, I've had a shot of it. It's brilliant.
But it's not worth the money that they sell them for. So these are getting sold eventually.
Yeah. Now my thing is what you're saying. Is it a Strat? It's a
GSO.
It's a Strat shape. But surely when you start saying what makes a Strat,
yeah.
It's got 3 pickups. It's got a tremolo.
Well, I suppose that's the hot rod Strat, isn't it? That's how they hot rodded. Back in the day was by adding humbuckers and stuff.
That's an unhot rodded.
Yeah, well, it's got a P90. It's really hot P90.
Oh, I suppose. Okay, yeah.
So it really rocks that guitar.
I wonder why. When Gibson were doing their sort of P90 versions and single pickup juniors. I suppose it was a Music Master, wasn't it?
Yeah.
They did a sort of single pickup
thing,
simple version, hardtail, or a Mustang.
But
the same
I've
sort of
done
thing.
a few gigs with that guitar and it plays really well. But people sell them for, how much do they sell them for now? 500 quid each?
Something stupid,
No.
For me, I feel the novelty went. The idea of buying a guitar for 100 quid, putting a Seymour Duncan Invader in it, doing it up and gigging it, brilliant. Not if you're buying it.
At 500, not worth it.
Not if you're paying real money for it. But who am I to say? I don't even know what Hello Kitty is. I didn't realise. I thought Hello Kitty was a cartoon character. It's actually just a brand.
Well, it started off as a cartoon character.
Did it?
I think so. Yeah.
I think it was started off as a corporate. Or no, I'm thinking of. Have you ever seen the Emily the Strange SGs you get?
Yeah.
It's
That's
a
corporate thing.
That's just. It's invented as a logo. It's not a cartoon. I thought it was a band or a singer, or even an anime thing. No. It's just purely invented for that. I thought Hello Kitty was the same. I'm not sure. But I was in Shenzhen and there was a massive shop, just nothing but Hello Kitty stuff. Just everything you could possibly imagine Hello Kitty.
GSOs called guitar shaped order. This one's been done up, that one hasn't. That one's actually still got the hang tags and the wee Hello Kitty letter and all sorts of stuff that came with it actually. Yeah. And
You're allowed to look at it but don't touch it.
Well, no, I bought it from a guy like you and I. Do you know what I mean? He didn't give a flying fuck. It's like, there you go, 100 and blah 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 quid. And I was like, great, for my daughter. Right. It's for my daughter.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so bought it for
So it's at your daughter's house, it's not hanging on the wall behind you?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, good.
Well, yeah, but she's got the choice, she can take any guitar she wants. That one. She's had this one. She's not dinged it. But yeah, so where were we? Yeah, Straturdays. But this one's basically the same specification as that one, isn't it?
They are like brothers.
Brother and sister, yeah. And they've got the same circuitry, is what I mean. That kind of no tone pots and
the same approach, the same
single piece,
same idea.
Yeah, single
but
piece,
it's a Strat. I tell you. Yeah. That's nice. I suppose if you're going to have a Strat, that's not quite sitting on that quite. I'm nervous it's going to fall off.
Better.
No, you pull it forward a bit at the bottom. I'm just
no,
worried.
That's the acoustic bit.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, no, that's.
Didn't want it to fall over.
So yeah, Saturday, 69 Strat, 2010 Strat.
10 Strat, and we've been talking for 25 minutes. Do you want to try and plug them in and have a wee jam? And I'll play or something. Just to show that they work. This one's got a dodgy input on it.
You've got a dodgy input. I've got.
Yep. That's an off switch. I was waiting for you to take a solo, but there you go. There's too many switches in this guitar.
Okay. So walk us through then, tell us, what did you do with the guitar?
No idea. I found out that's an off switch.
That's the thing that has to go because I keep...
Whether it's meant to be an off switch or not, I don't know.
I don't know. But
to be fair to myself, I'm pretty sure those two holes were already there.
They were? There was two switches in it?
There were two switches in it,
so
right.
What, the middle one does does the dog... What is it called that again? You had a name for it?
Oh, like the Dave Gilmore?
Yeah. Do you know what? That noise is just, it's not anybody's fault bar mine. I've not used that guitar. I've not used that guitar in a while, so it's a bit scratchy sound.
Right,
I don't know if I did any.
Did you just whistle there?
No.
Really? That sounded you totally like someone over there just going... I was expecting to be somebody in the window like that. We knock at the door for ages.
Sticky, or is it me?
Guilty of it. That's why in my room you very rarely see other people's guitars hanging on the wall. Especially when they're, it's not so bad I think when they're down low, but see when they're up there like that, I'd imagine that's mine. Just when smoke goes up.
Well, we'll find out as we go. We've got a few of the wall hangers to go.
No, we have to have dinner first. I'm starving.
Yeah, we're not going to do these. These are... Yeah, well, this is Strats.
Strategy 69 for 50
2010.
50 years.
50, well, yeah, that's 50.
This is 50 years old, that's 10 years old.
53. I'm 52, it's a year and a week older than me. That's, when I got it back, I know I told you, when I got it back from getting it dated, it's the second week of the second month, 1969.
Right.
Yeah, so the, whatever, 14th of February, I think, maybe. Valentine's Day, 1969, roughly.
Right.
Is the official date of that guitar.
Pretty impressive. I was going to say I don't have anything as old as that, but I do.
It's a bucket. Do you know it's a bucket list guitar? And I'm really lucky to have it. But as you can see, we were actually just talking about how we can
further mess it up.
Further mess it up by adding other pickups to it and taking those ones out and adding. That's got 3 humbuckers in it. Did we say that?
I don't know. You said it was the
oh yeah,
Seymour Duncan hot rail
things. Hot rail humbucker pickup, so it's a really hot Strat.
Probably.
Maybe add more.
I wonder. Did you look up when the hot rails actually were invented?
Well, no, that's...
Is this the original hot reel?
No.
No, probably
Rail pickups have been around for a long time. It's just they've not been that popular for whatever
Right.
reason.
I don't know. I mean, like the ones that fit into a Strat without modification type thing.
Aye, I think there's been rail pickups going back to the 70s and maybe even earlier.
Oh, right,
than that,
I
to be
don't
honest
know.
with you. Yeah, it's not a brand new idea.
Right.
But as far as making them for Strat size pickups, I think
Might be.
maybe around about the first.
I'm pretty sure. When are PV not used rail pickups as well? I think so. Those big,
but
the big massive ones.
they're, yeah, they're definitely from the 70s and stuff like that. But they're great pickups.
Yeah.
Not overly hot, which is good.
Yeah. I did turn them
Okay, maybe a bit hot.
Yeah.
They're a bit hot.
I was playing it quite quietly there. But it's like, with a guitar like this, I mean, compared to, like, I suppose if it was like a mint condition one,
Yeah.
I'd be pure. And I wouldn't be letting it sit against my t-shirt or anything like that. And it's like, you know, I'm playing with a pick.
It's quite a girthy Strat as well, isn't it? It's quite
Aye.
weight to it, yeah.
Aye, no, it's
weight
nice.
side, I'd say it's a good... I don't know what's this. It's a bit normal Strat weight. It's quite heavy.
Yeah. It's a slightly odd shape as well, is it? No matter, is it exactly, or is it
Slightly different.
It's just
see
not.
if you look at the one of the ways that they dated it was by the top horns. If you
Yeah.
compare them, they're slightly different.
Just not quite the same.
And
Because
the way
it's
the way they made necks back then was very. That's a Santori. It's signed. The guy who made it signed it. And it's the
Alright.
same as the guy who made the Isle of Wight Strat that got smashed up by Jimi Hendrix.
All right, there you go.
Same guy. Yeah.
Awesome. But I mean, it's not. They don't come out the machine looking like this.
No.
It might be.
It's quite nice.
It might be cut round a template, but then it's all hand sanded. So
But it's quite nice to think of it sitting on the same bench as Jimi Hendrix Strat and Dave Gilmour Strat and Eric Clapton Strat. They're all on the same bench, essentially, made by the same people.
yeah.
And more
If only it sounded like Jimi Hendrix or
not Eric Clapton. He's
not a Clapton fan. I actually went to see him, and it was one of the worst.
Is that what they call
Yeah, it was one of the worst gigs I've ever been to. And
terrible.
something went wrong at the gig. I'm not sure exactly what went wrong, but
talk about misappropriating the blues.
he played badly. He played bad song choices for about half an hour, 40 minutes, and then he came out and went dun 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 off, and then stormed off, and then came out 3 minutes later and went dun 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 dun, and then just stormed off, and then 10 minutes later, Andy Farewell and Low, they came out and did a song without him, and that was it. So the £60 ticket, I got like 45 minutes worth of music or something at Hydro.
You know,
So I'm not a Clapton fan for that.
there's better guitarists out there. There really are. There's much better guitarists out
Yeah,
there.
I do like Cream. Well, bits of
Do
it.
you know see the thing about Eric Clapton and Cream? All the licks are doable and achievable for most guitarists. Is the thing.
Yeah.
Most guitarists can pick it up and aspire to being able to play it.
Yeah.
Like you couldn't do that with Stevie Vai or Joey Santoni.
No, Joey Santoni.
No.
That's what I thought you said would meet that. Is that made by Joey Santoni?
Well, his guitar was a 60s guitar, wasn't it? And that's what they modelled the neck for his whatever.
Oh, right, was it?
Radius guitar. Anyway,
Wouldn't surprise me.
Bye.
Bye. See you next week.